well, some of them, they're divided on that. How can you be divided on that, I said. How can you do that? How can you be divided on taking a human life before it's even born? How can you do that? Just because it's now codified in the law does not mean it is right. So you just go to the state you want to go to and just keep on sinning. Does God turn his back on that and say, oh, well, I guess that's the way they want it? I don't think so. So I asked him this: have you or any of your friends witnessed an abortion? And he said, well, no. I said, you know why? Because you couldn't stomach it. They talked about giving their children as sacrifice to the god Molech in the Old Testament, where they would place him in his arms, a statue with his arms was like this, and they would go and they would place a live young child in his arms, and it was hot, red hot with heat. And child would be screaming, and they would sacrifice that child to this godless God. One after the other, they would go down there and they would do that. Is that any different? One of the procedures of abortion is that they burn the child up in the womb. Did you know that? They put chemicals in the womb, and that child gets burned to death. If that politician saw that, I can't imagine that he would continue to support it. But they hide it all. Now, if you've had an abortion, I'm talking to the folks around the world. If you've had an abortion, you can be forgiven of that. There's no sin that God can't forgive. None. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are. If you had an abortion, just confess it to God. Repent of that. He'll forgive you of it. You don't have to carry that guilt around anymore. Well, go and you get an unfaithful. So he married Gomer, and she conceived and bore him a son. Oh, we tried, and I never had a son. We had some girls, and they're just like their mother. Boy, they're rascals, I'll tell you. And I just love them to death. But, he wanted a son. All men do that. They want a son. So she had a son. And you know what happened there? Well, you recognize this